This week on the Angus Report, we visit Bently Ranch and Distillery to get a look at the 2019 Angus Convention Tour. We learn what to expect in Reno, we hear about the Angus Convention Tradeshow, and we meet Theresa Ness, the winner of the John Deere Gator Giveaway at the 2018 Angus Convention. This is the Angus Report. Hello and welcome to the Angus Report. I'm Katie Holdener. The 2019 Angus Convention kicks off on November 1st with a tour of Bently Ranch and Distillery. Bently Ranch got its start in 1997, just south of Reno in the Carson Valley. Over the last several years, they have focused on sustainable farming, aiming to grow a variety of crops that are used in the distilling industry.
Bently Ranch started back in the mid-60s. Don Bentley, the original founder, started to put together all the real estate holdings at that time. And to this day, we're still expanding and adding new operations. So here in the Carson Valley, we run our cows on a mix of irrigated pastures in the valley, some BLM permits kind of in the mountains, and then Forest Service permits in the Sierra Nevadas. Our cattle also go over to California in the wintertime and spend their calving there in Red Bluff, outside of Red Bluff, California. So the feed yard that we have is a small grow yard. We do our backgrounding of our calves after we wean them there. I have about 800 head capacity inside the pens, about another 1,000 head capacity outside that bunks feed in and out of pastures. With that, we'll recycle that manure and take it into our compost yard and use it there for fertilizer. We're also utilizing the distiller's grains from the distillery and having some cattle on feed for our meat business. It's been a slowly evolving idea to be reusing as much as we can. The compost yard and that operation's been going for 25 years. We've just added to it. We utilize a lot of the water, excess water and stuff from the distillery in the compost yard. We'll use the distiller's grains from the distillery. They'll go to the cattle division, and we just try to reuse as much as possible instead of just putting it in the compost. If we can find another use for it before it makes there, we try to do so. Bentley Meats division started about 5 years ago, and we started working just out of the office with frozen products. Started with 2 head. This year we're looking to do a little over 400 head. We added to it by adding the butcher shop. We had a gas station mini mart that wasn't being used, that already had refrigeration and freezers in it. We retrofitted those so they're a little more retail friendly. Built a cut room in the middle of the building that's all climate controlled, so we can cut the meat and everything right there. So we're trying to be as farm to glass, farm to ground as possible with our operations, and people can come in there 6 days a week, buy our meat, watch the butchers work, get custom cuts of meat, anything we can do to make their experience better. Distillery, the idea flourished about 6 years ago. The building was mothballed and had been mothballed since mid-60s, and we always wanted to do something with it. It was a beautiful, neat building. We just didn't know what to do with it. The idea of the distillery came about, and we slowly built upon that idea to what we saw today of the finished product open to the public, of reutilizing as much of the wood in the interior as possible. The silos are hollowed out so the bourbon stills are inside the silos. And it was just more of what can we do with these buildings? What can we combine the distillery in a historic building, and what can we create? And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun process. So one of the things I would tell somebody coming from a different part of the country to come to Nevada, just to see a different part of the world. You know, Nevada, everybody thinks of Nevada of Las Vegas and deserts. Well, we're not Las Vegas and we're not a desert. We're growing some really cool stuff. We're doing some fun things. We have beautiful scenery to look at. And yeah, just come see the rest of the world, how other people do it.
We hope to see you Friday, November 1st at Bently Ranch. Register at angusconvention.com. Stay tuned to hear what to expect about the 2019 Angus Convention Tradeshow. We'll be back with more Angus Report after a break. Welcome back.
Once a year, Angus producers from across the country gather to network, learn, and celebrate within the Angus breed. Today, American Angus Association event coordinator Caitlin Brandt is here to tell us what to expect and how to register for the 2019 Angus Convention and Tradeshow.
I actually really enjoy Reno. I enjoy the atmosphere, the laid-backness that it has, and I'm really excited for Angus members and commercial cattlemen to experience that as well.
This year, the American Angus Association has something special in store for the next generation of Angus producers.
This year, we're really trying to focus on the next generation of cattlemen. So if you are 21 and under, it is at no cost to attend the Angus Convention in Reno. We're just trying to focus on bringing the next generation up so that they are ready to learn and understand everything that the American Angus Association has to offer moving forward in their career.
Registering for convention is simpler than ever.
In order to register for the Angus Convention, first go to angusconvention.com, and then we've streamlined the process this year so it's more simple and easier than ever to register for the Angus Convention. You can go in there, you select the hotel you want, the room rate you want, the dates you're checking in, and then once you're done, you'll get a confirmation email in your inbox. If there are questions, call the association and there are staff available to help walk you through that process step by step.
The event is jam-packed with educational and networking opportunities to take your operation to the next level.
On Saturday is full of education sponsored by Neogen, starting first with the Genetic Symposium keynote speakers in the morning, and then that afternoon is more of the hands-on innovation workshops throughout both in the livestock demo area and in the classroom. Another exciting feature that we have this year in the schedule is Shane Harley will be joining us for a stock dog clinic in the demo area. Stock dogs are very useful in the West because of the landscapes that the cattle run on. So dogs and horses are very useful, and so in the demo area we will feature both stock dog clinic and also have some cattle handling on horseback demos. And this year we also have something unique. We have the Learning Lounge, which is located in the trade show, so that there will be topics, whether it's association topics or industry relevant topics, that's more geared towards producers to come and learn and listen. On Sunday is the Angus University workshops, and that covers a wider range of topics from feeder calves to cows and heifers to the Angus bull. There will be different topics throughout the afternoon, different speakers, and that way producers are allowed to kind of make the best of their time and their decision, choosing those workshops that best fit what they want to learn about. And then we wrap up on Sunday with Flatland Cavalry, the concert there at the Convention Center. Monday morning is also the annual convention of delegates. If you are a delegate this year, I would highly recommend and encourage you to attend the convention prior to just the convention of delegates so that you take in all that the convention has to offer, the education, the networking, and then also participating in the selection of the next board members. While you're in Reno for the convention, I highly encourage you to take in the sights of Reno and the surrounding towns. Lake Tahoe is only a short distance away, and then it is the gateway to the west with Sacramento just across the border. One of the most exciting aspects of the Angus Convention is the trade show. That's one of the top 5 reasons that attendees come to the convention is for the trade show. And I will say that when you get there, it's a little bit overwhelming because there's businesses and companies from all across the country, and then you also get to network with those businessmen and also the producers. We have businesses and operations from equipment dealers to animal health products to certified Angus beef, and then the association also has a large booth in the middle of the trade show floor. We do have staff available that during the trade show hours you can visit with them one-on-one, get all your questions answered, and even from the products and services that the association has to offer. Registration is now available, so I highly encourage you getting online, angusconvention.com, and registering today.
We check in now on the latest cattle market news with the Cattle Facts Update.
Hello, and welcome to the Cattle Facts Update. I'm Tanner Ahearn. After one of the wettest winter and springs in history, the U.S. Drought Monitor showed very few drought-stricken regions across the beef belt at the start of June. At the same time, the U.S. Pasture and Range Condition Index, which is a weighted average of very poor, fair, good, and excellent condition ratings, was at 74.4, the third highest going back to 1995. As the summer progressed, the National Pasture and Range Condition Index seasonally moved lower to 67.6, but was still the second biggest on record to start the month of September. This was mostly driven by ample precipitation across the northern plains, where only a small area in North Dakota and western Montana were labeled as abnormally dry or with moderate drought. The better forage position should allow summer grazing cattle, both yearlings and pairs, to stay out on grass longer. As a result, feeders will likely be marketed at heavier weights than seen in past years. The opposite story has played out this summer in the southern plains and southwest region of the U.S. as drier conditions emerged. A large portion of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and parts of Oklahoma have been overtaken with abnormally dry to severe drought conditions, and extreme drought has even popped up in a few locations. The South Plains Pasture and Range Condition Index has declined 9 points back to the 5-year average of 65. This would support earlier weaning and higher feed costs into 2020 should this continue. More importantly, winter grazing is common in the southern plains, and if the drought situation does not improve, demand for calves during the fall run could be hindered. When looking at big picture trends, the drier conditions would further support that the cow herd expansion phase is winding down. CattleFax expects the beef herd to grow less than 100,000 head this year and total roughly 31.9 million on January 1, 2020. Now, the drought conditions can be alleviated fairly quickly, so it will be critical to monitor precipitation levels through the fall and winter in the problem areas. For the Angus Report and CattleFax, I'm Tanner Ahearn.
To learn more about CattleFax, your leading source for beef industry market information, visit cattlefax.com. Next on the Angus Report, we hear from previous vendors of the acclaimed Angus Convention Tradeshow. Stay with us.
The Angus Convention Tradeshow is an excellent opportunity to visit with industry professionals and learn how to take your operation to the next level.
Unlike a lot of other shows, this is a very specific group of people. Whenever we have a convention like this, it is really targeted at a progressive grower. A guy that's taken the business seriously. He's got a plan to grow his business, just like we have a plan to grow our business. And it's the true professionals in the industry.
All the major breeders are here, so it was good for our exposure.
These guys are busy, they're ranchers, they're out there, they're not, they don't come together very often, and when they get into a place like this, it's really good to be able to present to them and let them see what we have. There's only a few events where you get people gathered together at this size that are a great market for us, people who need our products and that we can present to. It's the second year we've been here. It's one of the premier events that we go to, and we really look forward to it.
It's been a really good trade show for us. The amount of interest in the product has been superb. The quality of the clientele is what brings us back. We're here to serve the cattle people, and everybody at this is in the beef industry. So
we've been coming to the trade shows since the beginning. It brings us and allows us to greet our current customers and tell them thank you, as well as introduce our product to new customers throughout the country.
I think it's worth every penny. It's really hard to get to people that are being sold to all the time in this way. These are the premier thinkers in the industry. Also, they're coming here to learn about what's happening in the industry, and they're on the forward end of the adoption curve. And so, it's nice to come and you get a chance to talk to people that you'd never get a chance to talk to in an aggregated space like this.
It's set up really well. Everybody seems to funnel right past us, no matter where you're at in a trade show. I don't think there's a bad spot here. It's money well spent. You're in front of some of the best people. The people, if you're in, anything beef industry at all or cattle related, these are the people you want to be in front of.
The Angus Convention's always been a big hit for us. It's always been really nice to get out and meet with a lot of the people that we talk on the phone all the time. It's nice to sit down face to face with them.
It's a great opportunity to network with all the other exhibitors. It's great to get to talk to new customers, potential customers throughout the United States. We love that it moves around because we've been exposed this year to the eastern part of the United States. Next year we'll get to talk to Californians, Nevadans, Oregons, and Idaho cattlemen.
We come to the trade show to support a lot of our customers. Angus is a very progressive breed, and a lot of progressive breeders out there. So we come to help support them, network, and learn more about their programs and learn more about ours.
The Angus Convention is a convention where leaders in the industry come that are looking to push their businesses forward, just like Krone North America is with their business. You know, we want to be associated with the people that are pushing the edge, making things happen. And that's the kind of company that we are, and that's the kind of people we want to deal with.
You know, in my opinion, this place gathers together the people who are interested in the future. It's the premier breed, and so they're, you know, really the people who are at the forefront of thinking in the industry and driving the trends forward that are going to play out over the next 10 years.
It's the business breed, so it's definitely a lot more than you're going to get out of a lot of conventions.
We look forward to seeing you in Reno. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Angus Report. The stands were packed at the 2018 Angus Convention as attendees gathered for the grand prize giveaway. Hopefuls had their sights set on a new John Deere Gator crossover utility vehicle. Sidman, Pennsylvania native Theresa Ness was the lucky winner.
So now for our final giveaway on the second prize, our John Deere XUV 835M Gator crossover utility vehicle by our friends at John Deere. Let's roll those EID tags around. All right, we have our first individual here, Miss Theresa Ness.
Well, sitting there and being excited for the others that were winning prizes, I thought, oh, I'm happy for them too. And then this final prize was named, and I heard my name, and I'm like, what?
Congratulations, she is a winner.
Oh my gosh, I won a John Deere Gator. Oh, very exciting. I am so happy. We will put it to work. We have actually 3 farms, but 2 farms, and there's a road between us, and it will be handy from farm to farm and carrying supplies and whatever, but it will definitely work for us. It will be a good help. We drove to Columbus, Ohio for this Angus convention. The people were fabulous. The convention itself was wonderful. Sitting in the bleachers along with 2,000 other people, they mentioned 2 names. They named a gentleman and then Theresa Ness. That's the first time I ever heard my name announced over a system like that. My heart just exploded. I'm like, whoa, how exciting. And then went down into the arena itself to meet with the people who were conducting this. And it was just a fabulous moment to hold in my hand this button that had my information on it. Mine was scanned first, and I announced, ma'am, you just won yourself a Gator. I mean, whoa, my goodness, it was just wonderful, exciting.
We've made friends through the years throughout the country with other Angus producers, and they were all in the crowd. And so whenever she won it, it was like the place erupted. The convention itself, the speakers at the convention were just fabulous. I mean, they were great. We learned a lot. We were entertained, and of course, Theresa winning the Gator topped it all off. To see the Gator come up the road on the roll back, she was very glad to see it, very excited to see it. This Gator with cab and the heat is just perfect to go from one farm to the next without taking a full-size vehicle, a pickup truck or a car.
I'm Joel Slazak. I'm the sales manager for West Central Equipment. 3 months ago, we got the call from Kelly Clark at John Deere And she let us know that Theresa had filled out and registered to win a brand new Gator that they were giving away at the American Angus Association Convention. As a independent John Deere dealer, we certainly work with the people who work with the land, just as Deere's saying goes. To see the appreciation and gratitude on Theresa's face, really, that drives it home for you. That makes you feel really good. You know, I mean, you put a lot of work into the business there, and when you see that appreciation from the customer and something that's going to help them out for a long time to come, it really makes you, it makes everything worth it there, honestly.
I want to thank the American Angus Association in holding this convention in Columbus, Ohio. It was a wonderful event. We learned, we came back enriched. It was great. And thank you to John Deere in providing this Gator that will be a very useful item here on our farm. It's dependable and nothing runs better than a John Deere. Thank you, John Deere.
Congratulations to Theresa Ness. Those attending the 2019 Angus Convention, don't forget to enter for your chance to win this year. That's a wrap for this week's Angus Report. Tune in next week for another episode. We have some exciting news. To keep up with the digital age, we'll be expanding our online educational resources. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Angus TV, to stay updated. See you next week.